Okay, today we're talking about designing a self-dumping hopper in Fusion 360. Video playback speed has been sped up in the interest of saving time. So let's get started. I'm going to start by making the rectangular tubing base. This is going to be all steel construction. I'm choosing rectangular tubing for the base so we can make forklift pockets so a forklift can pick up and move around the self-dumping hopper. And I simply use the shell command to make that piece of rectangular tubing. And I'm going to do a sketch on the side of this piece of tubing and use the extrude command. And simply copy that rectangular tubing. And now I have my two forklift pockets. There's the base, done. I'll now create a sketch on the top surface. And we'll create the body of the hopper. I'll extrude it up. I'll do a sketch on the side of the hopper. And the hopper needs to be a triangle shaped body. So I'm creating that sketch now. And then we'll use the extrude cut command to remove material we don't want. Shell command, and there's the hopper. I'm going to create a sketch on this face. I want some reinforcement around this top edge of the hopper. I'm going to use 2" by 1" rectangular steel tubing. Excuse me. Of course, around all four sides. That will give structural rigidity to the self-dumping hopper. A self-dumping hopper can be used for scrap metal, trash, dirt, etc. Just about anything in the industrial space. Now create the cross member across the front. And I'll use the extrude cut command to remove the excess material that I don't want. I'll just do a quick sketch, then extrude it, and then cut it. And repeating the process again. I wasn't quite happy with the way it was turning out. Now I'll add that front rectangular tubing again, 2" by 1". And we'll extrude. And then I'll create a sketch again on that face, extrude, and then cut. You can see I made a mistake and removed some material on the bottom there. I didn't want to do that. So So I'll go ahead and create that little sketch of the profile again that I want to remove. I'll extrude just that little profile, and then I'll go back and do a cut of that profile in both directions. And there we go. Remove that little material. Done. Happy with that. So now I'm just moving the hopper a few inches forward to make room for the latch mechanism on the back of the hopper that will attach it and secure it to the base. The dump mechanism that you'll pull on, there'll be a lever that will create. And I'll also make our hinges on the front or in front of the hopper down low. I'll extrude up a metal plate. I'll use the fillet command to radius my corners. That looks good. This is 1/4 inch flat bar that I cut these shapes out of. And now you can extrude a pipe, but sometimes it's quicker just to go on McMaster-Carr's website or another online library and pull in a piece of pipe and put it where you want it. That's what I'm doing here. That's going to be for the pivot pins. So the hinge is 2 pieces. One piece is welded to the base, one piece is welded to the hopper, and then there's a 1-inch pin that holds both pieces together. So I'm making the hole for that right now. Finish sketch. I'll extrude it all the way through so you can see it's hollow. And I'll simply copy this plate and weld another plate on the other side, and there's part of my hinge. Woo! I want to move them in just slightly to allow room for the weld on both sides of those plates. Again, just cutting material off of there I don't want. That looks good. I don't want the hinges too far forward because then the hopper won't self-dump. So I got to make sure I tuck those hinges back close to the fulcrum point. And I'm going to move them down and back just a little bit like that. That looks good. And I'll simply, again, I'll copy those 2 plates and rotate the 2 copies around and position them where I want them, line it up. And those will get welded to the underside of the hopper there. And then we'll put our pin through the center to connect everything. Now I'm working on making that pin. And then again, I'm just going to copy this plate, move the copy over, place it, okay, and done. And then I'll simply copy that whole hinge assembly to make the second hinge. And I'm going to paint everything red so it pops on the screen better. So again, I'm selecting all of these items. You can see they're all selected. I'll say copy those bodies, move to where I want it, and there's my second hinge. So we're making progress. So now I'm going to extrude some 1/4-inch steel plates. And this is going to be our latch mechanism. This is the mechanism you'll pull on to release the hopper and allow it to dump. Again, all steel construction. And I'm thinking I'm going to use a clevis pin. To make assembly of the lever assembly quick and easy. And that pin is what the lever is going to pivot on. It's getting it placed where I want it. I'm going to remove some of the material because it's a little bit too long. Put a slight radius on that. Okay. And I'll use one of these cotter pins that'll hold the clevis pin in place. Just a quick disclaimer, this video is not a paid promotion for McMaster Carr's website. But you can see I use their parts frequently. It makes it quick and easy. Bring them in, drop them in place. So you don't have to 3D model every nut, bolt, screw, washer, clevis pin, etc. So now I'm going to add a reinforcement plate to the hopper. And that's where we will weld on the round bar that the lever will catch on. So I make that nice and thick, bring it out about where I need it, right about there. Now orient this pin so it's out of the way. So now I'm going to set about designing the actual handle or lever that you'll pull on or push on to release the hopper. So I'm just creating a series of arcs and circles and lines about where I want them. So there's a handle that you'll pull on or push on in the overall shape. Say finish sketch, extrude that shape. I want it to be 1/4-inch steel. And I'm going to put a radius on all these sharp corners. And there's our handle. Just placing it where I want it. So you kind of see how that works now. When you push up on that yellow handle, it's going to release the hopper, and the hopper will self-dump whatever the contents are in that hopper. Want to add a safety spring. high strength safety spring that'll help keep that lever in the closed and locked position, especially when someone's driving it around outside on the asphalt or concrete and it's bouncing around on a forklift. You don't want that lever to open. In addition to this safety spring, we'll also add a safety chain as well in a few minutes. So I'm just extruding another piece of 1/4 inch plate. Radius those corners. We'll add a mounting hole. And I'll copy that plate after we add the mounting hole. There we go. And saving your work as you go is important. And make a copy, rotate it around, place it where I want it for the bottom, and that will get welded to the base. Okay. Looks good. Now I'm going to make a hole, and this is where the T-handle will attach. The T-handle is going to hang down, so once you raise this hopper up over a dumpster or a trash compactor, etc., the employee will be able to reach up and grab that T-handle to push open that lever to release the hopper. Because obviously that lever is going to be higher when this unit is raised up on a forklift for dumping. So again, in sketch mode, sketching out the rough shape that I want, extrude, paint it yellow, paint it red. And then I'm going to do another little sketch and extrude out a piece of round bar. And that'll be the actual handle that the employee will grab. And we'll radius the edges to make it safe for the human hand and comfortable. There we go. Paint it red. So again, I'm going to bring in another clevis pin from McMaster Carr's website. And then we'll use another cotter pin to secure it. Now I'm going to look through the chains, and I want a nice strong chain. That will be our safety chain. And the safety chain is there in case the handle accidentally gets bumped or that spring breaks. It won't allow the hopper to dump unless you detach the safety chain. So it'll be welded to the base. Paint it yellow. Saving my work. And then on the other end of the chain, towards the top, I'll add a hook that'll attach to a catch on the hopper. So there, the chain's welded to the base. We'll look through the different clasps they offer, and then we'll look through the different rings and hooks and carabiners. And again, the idea here, I just want to find something I can quickly bring into the 3D model and place it where I want it and keep moving. Looking through the different hooks. Clevis hook, eye hook, sling hook. So I'm going to use this sling hook. You see the sling hook has a little spring-loaded safety latch on it, so that's perfect. And then I'll use another clevis pin and cotter pin to attach it to the chain. paint it yellow. And in this instance, I think I'm just going to extrude and make my own little clevis pin. Extrude the head. There we go. Put a radius. Paint it red. Get things placed where I want them. Make it a little shorter. Yep. And this will be the round bar that the hook attaches to. And again, a reinforcement plate will be welded to the hopper. Paint it red. Paint everything red. That looks better. Almost done. So now I'm creating an offset plane, and I want to extrude out a piece of flat bar that's going to act as reinforcement for that round bar, just to make it a stronger structure there. And again, this is all welded construction. And radius those corners. Paint it red. I'm going to create another offset plane and do the same procedure for this round bar. So create a sketch. And then we'll extrude. So again, this is made from flat bar. There we go. Just want to make some fine-tune adjustments here. Add that little cotter pin. Yep. So now I want to add some casters. I'm going to use dumpster casters like you'd find on the bottom of a dumpster. The two rear ones will be stationary. The two front casters will be swivel casters. So this will allow you to push this around by hand. Or obviously the fork pockets allow you to move it around with the forklift as well. Then we'll do some rendering. We'll paint the wheels black. Now we'll bring in the swivel casters. And these could be bolted or welded to the bottom side of that rectangular tube base. Just make a copy, move my copy over. Then under the render tab, we'll paint the wheels black. Looking good. Just move my... Sometimes that happens when you copy an object and you go to move it later. It'll also move the original object that you made a copy from. So just be careful of that. Bring in a smaller one anyway, because this is a smaller clevis pin. So you can see what happens. Sometimes things will move around on you. You can see it's still moving both of them at the same time. So I'll just bring in a new cotter pin, a little bit smaller one. Yeah, that's better. I like that. that'll work. And now I want to add a decal, so insert decal, and I'm going to bring one in from my computer. On my desktop, I have a screenshot of what I want. I'll select the face. It automatically places it on that face. You can drag it around. Obviously want to make it a little bit smaller, so I'll go over here and I'll reduce the scale for X and Y. Yeah, I like that size. Trying to see what the best placement is. I think I want it a little bit lower, so when the employees are actually using it, that decal is going to be pretty much almost right there at eye level when it's raised up before they go to dump it, just to remind them, keep your hands out of the way. That's another great feature about Fusion 360 is you can bring in these decals to label things, safety decals, etc. I think we'll call that good. I hope this tutorial helps. Now here is the final product. You see the close-up of the decal we just placed. And again, you can see the casters, the hopper itself, the hinges, the actuation mechanism with the safety spring and the safety chain, and of course our forklift pockets. Please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment, and thanks for watching.